Hello, and welcome to another episode of 50 Plus and Ticking. I am Pamela D, along with
Frankie.
Tasha.
LA, how are you all today?
Good. And we're going to jump right into this episode. Today's episode is called Is He a Simp or an Attentive Man? You be the judge, and let's talk about it. Shari, take it
So
away.
with that being said, let's first discuss the difference in between a simp and a simple man or an attentive man. I'm sorry. So what do you guys believe in your words what a simp is and what an attentive man is? Pam?
I had never even heard the word simp until the last year.
Where have you been?
You know what? I guess I'm old because I thought when they told me what it was, I said, "Well, ain't that a punk?" You know, that's what I thought a simp was as a punk. But I had never heard the word simp.
What was a punk?
Soft, right? Somebody soft. You know, somebody who's
Basically,
sweet.
pretty much basically the same thing you can say.
Right. But
as we move forward into the conversation, we will see that basically is kind of the same thing.
Okay, because I had never, like I said, I had never heard the word simp before. Some of my male friends kept saying, "He a simp, he a simp, he a simp." I'm like, well, what the hell is a simp?
Well, I can't necessarily say that a simp is a soft man because even the hardest man can have a woman have him wrapped around her fingers. He can be a tough guy to the rest of the world, but that one woman can have him just nose wide open, as the
Very
old
true.
folks used to say.
Very true.
So it's not necessarily the same thing. But in my opinion, a simp is someone who will go out of their way to try to please a woman that has absolutely zero interest in being with him. But he will continue to try, and he will continue to buy, and he will continue to try to take her places and do whatever it is that he believes that she will acquiesce to be with him, and it just will never work. And he can't see it.
Sometimes he's a pushover.
Yeah. He's a sucker.
Yeah, I mean, but is he being a sucker for a reason though? Is it for to get something from her, or is it just that's his
in hopes to, but sometimes the writing's on the wall, and sometimes they know that this woman has no interest in ever being with them or taking them seriously, but they keep trying anyhow. And sometimes that woman keeps leaving breadcrumbs, and he keeps following behind, and you find a fool bump their head is what they always say.
That's what they say.
You think that the man knows that the woman
and often in some cases, absolutely. Not always, but there are cases where the man absolutely knows. I've seen guys chase after women who were with somebody else, and they know that they weren't taking them seriously, but they kept trying, waiting their turn, just hoping against hope that one day she will see the light. I'm a nice guy. She will see that guy's no good for her. He's gonna break her heart, and I'm gonna beat her.
That could kind of like be. That can kind of be said in the same instance where a lot of times where people say women think, "Oh, I can change him."
Yes.
And so you go out of your way and you continue to do things because you think, "Oh, it's not going to be me. Oh, I can change him."
Mm-hmm. There's some similarities, absolutely. But with that woman, she's actually with that man. This guy's not with this woman. He's just being strung along as a sucker. It's like she could be dating someone else. Then her car breaks down or her snow needs to be shoveled. And who she called? He comes over and changes that tire. He shovels that snow. He does all those things.
She's calling the simp.
I don't think that's a simp.
Well, what is it?
So what do you think a simp is, friend?
I mean,
yeah, I want to hear this.
Me too.
Well, hell, I'm gonna tell y'all, but no, I would think that a simp.
But you must have some experience dealing with these simps. I said you must have some experience dealing with these simps.
You know, I love a good simp. No, I do think that it's a man that is giving all his time, attention, trying to buy, trying to please or get the attention of another woman. But I think it would be kind of hard to tell the difference of a genuine guy that is just trying to court, or like, what if he's just raised like if he was brought up like that, and it's not him being a simp, it's just him being who he is. Mm-hmm. A lot of men I think nowadays that society and women, like, they don't even give men a chance to really show them who they are.
No.
All right, we ain't gonna get away from the
Pe-
subject here, but you don't.
That's
They
that's that's absolutely facts.
Yeah, I agree. It's like what I've been saying since we first started doing the podcast, and we've been on a relationship type thing, and I've been screaming and saying, "Get you a good country man," because that's how that they were raised, and that's how they do things. Not saying that all country men are like that, or down south men are like that, and no up north or city men are like that, but it's just been something that has kind of been instilled as they
And
were growing up. You take care of the family, you do
Yes.
this, and then they're kind of
Mhm.
looked at as the simp, not so much as they're attentive or they're
But
paying.
see, in from my perspective, a simp, you can't be a simp if you're taking care of your family. That's a whole other thing. That man is not a simp. That man is
that's what
responsible.
he's
Right.
That
supposed to
man
do.
is looking out. He's doing what a man is supposed to do.
Right.
A simp is someone who doesn't have that family, who doesn't have that woman, and he's chasing behind something that he probably will never attain, simply because he hopes against hope that it's going to one day. He's just hoping.
hold up, Lawrence.
He's going to see it. I'm just saying that's a
No,
simp.
you are right, but
Yeah.
I want to know what's tickling Pamela D over here, because she's definitely tickled by.
Yeah, let's hear from her. Let's hear from her.
I mean, like you said, he would never get access to this woman, but he doing everything in his power to get this woman.
He just
Okay,
I
so
mean, why can't he? I mean, is there okay? My question then is:
Sophia.
is there a difference
Lawrence.
is there a difference between attentive and a simp, or or does it kind of go hand in hand?
They kind of
No.
go hand in hand to a certain degree,
No,
because the
no,
definition of
I
a
have to-
simp, because in the definition of a simp, it is somebody that is attentive, but it's about how you go about it. So when
I think it has to be
that, and
reciprocated.
as you say, a man that's taking care of his family can't be considered a simp.
No.
So that would bring me to the next question, which is, a lot of people like to talk about Russell Wilson, how he attends to Sierra and how he does things. They think that he's soft or he's a simp because of the way how he goes about things. So in
Russ-
your opinion, is that a simp, or is he just an attentive man?
Absolutely not. The guys that are calling Russell Wilson a simp are upset because he's forcing them to raise their level of.
That's right.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
that's all it
again.
is.
I agree.
That's
Say
all
it
it is.
again.
Totally agree.
Now, Russell Wilson, to me, he comes across as disingenuous at times, but at the same time, when it comes to his family and his woman, he's being what he's supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to do. There is no future junior. That is your son. That's not your stepson. That's your son.
Right.
The moment he enters your
Absolutely.
realm and you decide to raise him, that is your son. Period. How he treats his woman, that's the way he's supposed to treat his woman. If
Right.
she's out on a shoot somewhere or filming a video and he wants to send her flowers, or he wants to show up with the flowers in his hand, what's wrong with that? That's what you're supposed to do for your woman.
Absolutely not.
And I believe that a lot of men get upset at him because their woman's gonna look at them sideways. You ain't pulled a Russell Wilson for me. You ain't showed up to my job with flowers. You ain't showed me. You won't even post me on Facebook. And
You ain't buying me.
And these days that means a lot to people.
yeah, it does. It
You're
does. It
not,
does.
why I'm not on your social media? Why you not posting me? Why
because you in my real life. You don't need to be on social media. I know I'm with you. You know I'm with you.
That's exactly what my husband says. Not that I'm pressuring him or anything, because he does have me.
Frankie has something to say. Frankie has
No,
something to say.
I feel like you was being sarcastic, Lauren.
No, I wasn't. I'm 100% fact.
Oh no, and that's how I feel. We don't need to let the world see this.
Yeah.
If you in my space, if you're in my life, you know what's going on. I don't have to validate this or that for the next person, like, oh, we together. No, we know we're together. And a lot of times I think that people need to stay out of your business so that it can grow.
They can't. If you broadcast it, they can't. Because it becomes it's our relationship now. I want to know
Absolutely.
I don't see her no more. I want to know.
Yeah.
And that's how people treat. It's just it's sad that we live in the world of social media. The world of social media has made the dating world. It has made people disposable. They just go
Yeah.
human shopping on the internet. The moment
Yeah.
something don't work out, they back in somebody's DMs. They're human shopping. It's no different than going on Amazon. They're trying to find their next what can get delivered tomorrow. That's what
Wait,
it's all about. They don't take the time to get to
Oh,
know
see,
tell
women.
me that was nice.
that was nice.
That
I
was
I
like
like.
nice.
I do. I like that. What can be
yeah.
delivered tomorrow? I
Look,
like that.
I need to know the name of another site so I can go find me somebody. So where where we at? It's like Amazon. No, I'm
Frank,
serious.
I'm out
Frankie,
the loop.
Frankie,
I'm
we're not
out the
doing
loop.
human shopping tonight, Frankie.
I'm sorry. Okay, my
I'm
fault.
out
My
the
fault.
loop. I'm out the
I'm
loop. I
I'm
don't know.
old school. I'm old school. We can go out somewhere and get a drink. And if there's someone who wants to approach you correctly in a non-simpish type manner, I will either approve or disapprove. You gonna do what you want to do anyhow, but I'm gonna let you know right in the door. He ain't. She
You
ain't doing
said
that.
non-simpish
Simpish.
manner. What
That's
what would
correct.
be what tell me a simpish way you would approach somebody?
I
If you
wouldn't
buy
approach
me a
anyone in a
drink, I
simpish.
don't think that's a
Yeah,
simp.
that's not a
If
simp.
if I'm buying you a drink, we're sitting at a bar, and I start having a conversation with you, I'm gonna ask you what you're drinking. It's that simple. I don't need a line. Either you're engaging with me or you're not, and I can
Yeah.
read whether or not you're engaging with me. And if you are engaging with me, and if we're sitting at a bar, I'm going to buy you a drink simply because you're having conversation with me for that reason alone. Now, how that conversation goes from that point forward, I know if I want to progress and put some pressure on or not.
So the
And that's
pressure
how.
be
That's
a
how.
second, a third drink to get me inebriated so you can take advantage
No,
of it.
no, no, no. See.
What?
Let me
Come on,
explain
talk
something
to
to you.
me.
For me, the worst thing for me is I cannot stand an inebriated woman. I want you in your full capital
Thank you.
faculty, so
Hello.
you
Thank
can know, so you can understand and know exactly what you're getting into, what you're trying to get into, and what you where you want to be. Because I can't stand an inebriated woman. It's so
Mm,
unattractive. And it's one of the most.
it's a turn off.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Oh, it's a huge turn off. Don't get
Turn
drunk.
off.
Hey, no, don't hate me.
Ugh,
Don't hate me. I can call you Uber. Get you a ride right away. I can't do it.
you called
Well,
to
you
go
know what?
out.
It was funny because we were just in Georgia 2 weeks ago, me and my daughter, and my cousin, he came and he picked us up, and she said, Mom, she said, you know what? This was after we had gone out to dinner and spent time with my uncles and my cousins and stuff. She says, Mom, she says, I don't know if there's a difference. She said, but you know what? She said, maybe I do need a country man. She said, because I've never had a man open a car door for me. I've never had a man open the doors for me. Just pay for stuff, ask me, am I good? Put some money in she's like, if that's the way she said, I said, that's the way a man's supposed to treat you, and
It's
she
funny.
said,
It's funny you say that. I have a 12-year-old goddaughter, and last year I went and picked her up to take her to get some ice cream. I have a little convertible, so she hops in. I was like, let me get the door. You don't have to get my door. I say, yes, I do. I'm going to get your door. And when you start dating at age 45,
No.
he better open your door too. It's
you
that
should.
simple. It starts when they're young. So at
It
some
does.
point in
It
time, I
does.
mean, and I'm not speaking ill of your daughter's father, but that's on him to set the bar, to lay down the foundation down, so she can know what to expect when she starts dating.
But
Dad,
like she
take
said,
her out, open the
But
door
that,
for
but
her.
you know, that's like something like that I have been teaching London, my son,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
remember maybe about 3, 4 years ago, maybe when we first moved here, and it was COVID, so I'm working from home, and I'm sitting at my desk, and I have a big window, and I can look out, and it was right before COVID. But anyway, I was sitting at my desk, and I can see him getting on the school bus going to school. And it was him and the little girl next door. They were getting on the bus at the same time. And I saw him, and he kind of rushed and got on the bus before her. So when he came home from school, and I told him, I said, hey, let me talk to you. I said, I saw you when you got on the bus this morning. And I said, and I see you rushed ahead of her and you got on the bus before her. I said, don't do that again. I said, you let her get on the bus. I said, the same way how you opened the door for me,
right.
that's equivalent to you letting her get on the bus first. You let her get on
Correct.
the bus first
Correct.
and you follow behind. So not only
Correct.
I'm trying to let him know as a woman how he should be treating another woman, and his dad is the same as when we're walking on the street. I don't walk on the outside, I walk on the
Ever,
inside.
ever,
And anytime
ever,
we're
ever, ever.
somewhere, he always faces the door. My back is to the door because, and I never thought
Right.
about that until he said it. He said
Always.
the
Always.
seat. Now the
I've
street part,
never.
I knew I had never thought about looking towards the door.
Mhm,
So that's
mhm.
just organically how we always sit when we go somewhere.
Right. Me too.
Chivalry only dies when women allow it to. I mean,
Say it
it's
again.
like this chivalry only dies when women allow it to. It's
Yeah.
the standard that you set. It's all about how you want to be treated. If you allow a guy to take you out and not open your door, then guess what? That's on you.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
it's squarely on you. And if he refuses to do it, maybe he doesn't deserve a date. And if he wants to be with you bad enough and wants to take you out bad enough, he gonna open that door. He gonna talk crap to his buddies, but he gonna open that door because he wants to see you again. Period.
Mhm.
I'll never forget my best friend. His daughter. She was a teenager, and this little boy came to see her. And me and my buddies, we were all sitting on the porch, and he came. He rolled up and he blew the horn. And I
Ooh.
went over to the car. I was like, little brother, you do know that the doorbell works better than the horn. Because if you ring that doorbell, you don't get the person that you're looking for, and not the whole block. And from that point forward, he came, he got out the car, he greeted us, and he asked for her, and she better be home by 11 o'clock.
So y'all did him like
Period.
off of Bad Boys when Martin
This was
Yeah.
and Mike
ab-
Lowry was at the door.
absolutely, absolute. This was before that movie came out. So yeah, we absolutely did. And you better believe he had her home at 10:54, not 11. He had her home on time. And from that day forward, he came over. He parked his car. He got out, came and knocked or ring the doorbell, and that was that. You have to teach them while they're young. You have to set some boundaries and expectations, and let these young men know this is how women deserve to be treated, because that's how you want your mom treated. That's how
Because
you
we do.
want your
We set
sister.
the boundary. We set the tone. We set the
Yes, you
tone for
do.
how we
Yes,
be
you
treated.
do.
Yeah.
It's all about, like
Yeah.
Lauren said, it's all about in what you allow and what you
That
will
part.
accept as far as when you're doing things. So, ladies, have you encountered any simps while you've been dating, or have you just
I can answer
encountered?
for them. Absolutely, they have. Absolutely, they have.
I have not.
She lied.
So, Pam D, have you encountered? Tell me about your simp
Oh, yeah.
encounter.
You know, it's been so long ago, though. You know, because
It's been that long?
it's been so long ago. I mean, because he was doing so, and you know what? It's almost annoying. You know, when they're a simp. You know, because they're
Mhm.
doing too much sometimes.
It's
You know,
overkill.
it's overkill. You
Mhm.
know,
Okay, well,
and
what made you not cut it off? What made you tell them, hey, you know what, this ain't
I
gonna work?
did.
Why you
I did. I cut it off. I did cut
But
it
you
off.
kept
But,
answering the phone.
I knew he was a simp when we went to church, and his mother came and greeted us, and he grabbed his mom's hand, and I was like, oh hell no, that was
Oh,
it
he a
for me.
mama's boy.
Okay?
He a mama's
He was
boy.
a mama's
He a
boy.
mama's boy.
I mean, and you know what? And not that that's a bad thing, because if you treat your mom well,
Yeah.
basically you're going to treat a
Yeah,
woman
you
well.
be holding your mama hand at church. How
And
you
that
holding your
was
mama
this
hand at
guy.
church? So that's
Right. If he had just walked behind her, and we walked and sat down, that would have been another thing. But don't grab your mom.
What if he hadn't seen her?
Maybe she was elderly and she
Yeah.
needed some balance.
She was not.
okay. I'll allow
Listen,
that.
I was trying to
I'll
help
allow
the
that.
brother out.
Yeah, But you know what I did like about him, though? I mean, and not that I'm a spontaneous person, because I'm not. I like to know what's going on. But I remember one time, we were getting ready to. He surprised me with going to Great America. He packed up a lunch, a picnic basket and stuff.
How long ago was this? How long
And
ago
she
was
said
this?
Great America. It ain't even Six Flags.
Is she going to Great America?
Six Flags, Great America. Y'all
She
know.
said,
Yeah, hey,
Great America.
y'all know how I
They
said.
wore matching shirts.
Yeah,
and
yeah, matching
everything.
shirts.
Please continue your story. Please continue.
Yeah.
And they were airbrushed.
Yeah, and so he called a friend and his girlfriend, and we all went to, and I thought that was the sweetest thing. I did. I was thinking, oh my God, because he just came and scooped me up and stuff and said, hey, we going to Great America, just grab your purse or whatever and let's go. And I was like, oh
I
wow.
thought you said cut it off.
Huh?
You strung him along. I thought you said that you
No,
cut
you
it
know what?
off.
I did go to, but I did tell him after. No, I did tell him after this because he did have a girlfriend, but he was trying to make me his girlfriend. After I realized that this was just not going to work, I said, "Please don't break up with your girlfriend." You know what this fool did? He went and broke up with his girlfriend, and I'm like, "I told you not to break up with your girlfriend because you know." But he was a sweet guy, but he just was not the guy for me.
Where is he
So
today?
He's married, and you know, I guess happily
Oh,
married.
so you kept in touch with him.
No, I've seen him. No, I didn't keep in
Mm-hmm.
touch, but I've seen him. You know.
Got you.
so so
You
listen.
got her, Lawrence.
So with that being said, so would you say sweet guys are the simps? Or as Lauren said earlier, you can have some of the most manly men or the hardest men that can be considered a simp for their women, or is it just all the sweet guys?
Well, you know what? This was I mean, long time ago. So I was growing and stuff. So maybe he was just attentive and just, and just a caring person and stuff. Maybe I just didn't, I didn't appreciate what he was bringing to the table. That's
Because
basically what it
right,
was.
because maybe you hadn't
That,
had that
that's
before,
what
and
I'm
that
about
was
to
different
ask.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have
That
been
led me
different for
directly
you.
to a question. If a gentleman like that came along today and had those same qualities, how receptive would you be
Ooh,
to it?
I scoop him up so I will hem him up so quick.
Mhm.
You gonna make them a turkey burger?
I will hem him up so quick because that's what I want now at this stage in the
Mhm.
game. You know,
Yeah.
Youth is wasted on the young. We don't know what we don't know.
we
We
don't.
don't know what.
We
Frankie, you've been quiet.
I mean, I like a
Why
simp.
so?
So I ain't really got too much to say.
So we need your
No
opposing
said.
view then.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Like if it's somebody that I'm not interested in, then that could be a problem. But if it's somebody that I like and I'm into, I don't have a problem with all that other stuff. I just don't. I like when people are there and available. I like when they just want to spend time with you doing nothing. I like that you thought enough about me, like, oh, I like this. They come with all of that. No joke. I did have this one guy that I was dating. And his friends told him that he was a simp. And I didn't think that he was, but I love Cinnabons, right? And we were supposed to meet up. And he went to the mall, got me a 6-pack, gave it to me, and he was just there. But everything was reciprocated. If he do, I do. It wasn't like, oh, okay, you do, I'm a do. But it was that. And he just thought that he was like, they called him a simp. And I was like, oh shit. I mean,
But that was on his friends. In that
That's
instance, you were reciprocating and you was like him. I
yeah.
wouldn't
That's not a
consider
simp.
him a simp
No,
because
Not
he
at
was
all.
paying
Not
attention
at
and
all.
he was doing things, so he was
I
being
agree.
attentive.
I agree.
No,
Like no
I would
joke.
not describe him as a simp.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't either. But to
Yeah.
me, the word simp is just like the word narcissist was last year. We get a word, we hold on to it, and we
Oh
just
yeah.
go with it. Like,
It's the
okay,
word
Beat
of
it to
the
death.
a simp gonna be out the
Beat it to
game
death.
by November. So hell, I thought they was
November.
using the word simp back in the
You mean
70s. So
I
by
know
November?
that's an old term. I thought it was an old term as far as
I
when
had never
Pam said
heard it.
that she hadn't heard it
I
before.
had
I'm
never
thinking that's
heard it.
an old
yeah,
term.
I've
Wow.
heard it before. And
Boys
Yeah.
to
again,
Men on their debut album, Motown Philly, had a song called "Simpin' Ain't Easy." This is in the early '90s.
oh, man,
Yes. Where have you all been?
little
I
No,
boy.
guess
it
I,
ain't no you all. It's the girl with the curly hair over there
I
that's
guess I
sitting
wasn't
on
listening
this
to the
side
boys
of the
in
fireplace.
here.
You listen to
No,
Boys to Men, Motown Philly.
Simping ain't easy. I thought pimping
There's a
wasn't
song
easy.
on that. There's a song on that album on their debut album called "Simpin' Ain't Easy."
I was gonna listen to that.
This has to be 1991. So we're talking
ooh,
30 plus years ago.
Ooh. Okay, well, I was gonna listen to that.
You know that album came out when that boy took you to Great America. That's what it was.
that was probably it.
Exactly. That had to be when she went to Great America.
But you know what
No,
though? At this, like I said, at this point in my life and stuff, I want me a Russell Wilson. And if you call it, and if that's a simp, I'm okay with that.
Russell's
I
not
don't
a
think
simp.
you need to be all hard and I don't want to do this for her and stuff. So I don't want her to think that she getting over on me because I think that's what a lot of men think nowadays is that
Yeah.
if you giving into a woman or attentive to her needs and stuff that you give it into her and stuff and that's not what it's about.
Well, if
It's
a
like
woman is
it's like
getting
what I
over
said
on what a
earlier.
man is doing for her and she's not reciprocating, then he is a simp.
Well,
But
if
in
yeah,
Russell
if,
Wilson's
if
case,
it's
that's
like
his
that.
if it's
wife.
like that,
That's his wife. That's his wife. You're
right, right.
supposed to take care of your wife. Period.
Okay,
If you
so
have the
then
Are
means
you
to
a
do
simp?
so, then you
Are
do
you a
so.
simp? Lawrence, are you a simp?
Hell no. But
hell
on our
yeah.
post show last week when we had the conversation off when the camera stopped rolling, I told you all how attentive I was. I pay attention. I feel those gaps. I see what's missing. I
I
see
love
what's
that.
wanted. I see what's needed, and I try to
Mhm.
provide it. If that makes me a simp, then I'm a simp.
Oh, Lawrence, I love it.
He married. Okay, so
Yo, he
listen.
married.
It really
If
makes
that,
it makes a difference in how she will react to things and how she will move forward too when you are
Absolutely.
attentive in that manner like that.
Mm-hmm.
agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
if
Absolutely.
a woman is allowing a simp to simp on her, what do that make her? I'm just saying, hell, if you know you're not interested in
A
somebody, no,
user that
listen,
makes her a
That's
user.
exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I,
Yes.
I've been a
If
user
you,
before, but no, I have. I'm
I think
we
we
don't.
all have. If we're
I'm
honest,
gonna
we
say we'd
keeping
be
it
lying
real.
if
We
we
all
said that
have.
we wouldn't. But I was a user in my younger days. But it's I thought
Last
Tasha looked
week.
at me like you
I thought,
lying. In my younger
No,
days.
Last week.
no, no,
You
no.
were younger last week. You were
okay,
a lot
okay, I will
younger
say
last
this.
week.
That's right.
Okay, I will say this. Okay, because this is my girl. I love her to death. But all them dinners she be going to, she ain't liking all them.
Listen,
She ain't liking
I
all them
don't.
guys that
I
she be
don't.
going out to.
But
She
guess what?
could be, remember that the other week, and I said you could be a serial dater. Maybe at that point she's trying to fill it out to see
Okay, so but are these
if
guys simps
Mm-mm.
because they continue to take
Mm-mm.
her out and
No.
knowing that she's not interested?
Here's the thing. If even if
Yes,
they're
they're
reciprocating,
absolutely.
no, they not.
Yes, they are.
No, they
They
not,
know
Lawrence.
because I
that
think
you're
they're
not
both
interested.
trying to learn each other at that point to see if they're interested at
Thank
that
you,
point.
Tasha.
But Pam
Yeah.
just stated clearly that she's not interested, and the man knows that she's not interested. Yet he continues to
So
take her out.
listen.
He's the prime definition of a simp. That's exactly what he is.
Say it again.
That's exactly
If
what
I
he is.
say no, because if I'm not looking, what are you laughing at? If I'm not looking for nothing right now, and you just happen to roll up on me, and here's my take on relationships, period. I need to be your friend first. I need to be able to laugh with you. I
Absolutely.
don't care about you rolling your eyes, Lawrence. I gotta laugh with you first. If we ain't laughing, then I ain't got nothing else for you.
We gotta have a good time. We
And
gotta
that's
have
it.
a good time.
I'm
But
giving.
you just clearly said that you were not interested. You said that came out of those words came out of your mouth.
It came right out of here. I'm not interested,
Not
but things can change. Like
I was gonna say
if
it
I
can
spend
change.
time with you, like I don't know too much about you on date 1, 2, or 3. I gotta hang out with you a little bit. If I'm taking my time, my energy, I could be using that time for something else. So it ain't like you just dropping some shit off at the door. Like I say I'm hungry. Can you give me Uber Eats and you drop it at my door? Put your hand down. I'm talking. So no, we going out. I'm taking time out of my day to converse with you. If I'm sitting at the table and I ain't saying nothing or I'm on my phone and you ain't whatever, hell, I could just be providing conversation. Like, hey, you conversing with me, I'm trying to figure you out. Like, but how about I could say to myself, what do you stop smiling? I could say to myself right now, just from being hurt, you know what? I ain't really interested in no relationship. But that's just me protecting myself. I hang with you a little bit, and then all right, we see where this goes. A lot of times I'm not interested because I don't want to open myself up. That's a whole nother topic over there. But I don't think that that's me using them. I just think I'm single. Y'all
You
want
filling it
if
out.
you're
You
yeah,
filling it
if
out.
you're
water.
not interesting, if you're absolutely not interested and going forward with either dating or having a boyfriend or that person potentially becoming your man, you just said a mouthful. You're not interested at all. So no matter how much he makes you laugh, you've laid that foundation. We talked about this last week. Once you
Well,
lay
we
those
talked about this
parameters
too.
and you let that person know the rules of the game, they need to learn to either play the game or decide, you know what, I'm gonna take my cards and my chips and I'm gonna go try to play somewhere else. You
But
laid
you know
those
what?
rules down. And they hold on, time out. I'm still going.
I'm sure.
And they accepted those rules, knowing that you weren't interested. They're a simp. They're a simp. A simply simp. That's what they
No,
are.
no, it's not. A simp is if he buy me gifts. If we going to eat, I gotta eat every day.
They
I
be
don't have to have a
they
gift
be
every day.
they be
I
buying
don't have
gifts
to.
too.
I don't know who business she in right now, but no, like
You
I
know,
just go
it'd be
out.
cheaper to buy gifts. It'd be cheaper to buy gifts than to take you to eat sometimes. Come
Okay.
on now.
Tasha,
Come on now.
who
Depending on
size
where
you?
I take you to dinner, I could
Well,
be out of
I'm
two, three
listening.
hundred dollars.
I'm saying it could be cheaper. I mean, unless, of course, as they say, you going on one of the forbidden lists, like the Cheesecake Factory, which I don't think has
Applebee's.
anything wrong with the Cheesecake
Applebee's.
Factory.
Or he taking you all the way,
Negative.
or he taking you all the way to
Here we go.
Chicago and taking you to one of the nicer
This what we doing?
restaurants and
Like you're going, or are
saying.
you going to the signature room or something like that?
now, I
You're
mean, if he taking you to
A
if he taking you
meal?
to Chili's or Applebee's, that's a whole nother story.
She
But
ain't
if
no,
he taking
she
you
ain't no chilies.
right, no, she ain't.
She ain't no
I
chilies.
mean, I'm not eating chilies simply because I don't like chilies. I had a bad experience, and it doesn't take much for me to put them on my list where I'm not going back. I'm not going to Chili's. I'm not going to Applebee's.
I
So,
fired
but
many establishments, so I feel you.
so
Let
I feel you 100%.
let me conclude my take on a simp or
Okay.
attentive. I think they one and the same. Seriously,
Mhm.
it just depends. It just depends
I
on
agree.
the
how you
intention.
feeling. Yes, that's it. So I don't mind the simp. So I'm gonna be a little bit quieter on this subject than y'all, but hey,
I'll take a simp for 1,000, Alex.
you just want that now.
I'll,
Like,
I'll say this: the difference between a simp and an attentive man is the woman and how she receives what he's bringing. That's the
Mhm.
difference. Because
The
if the woman
intention.
ain't interested in what he's bringing and he keeps bringing it,
What's-
he's a simp.
Mhm.
If a woman is receptive to it, and then he's just being an attentive man because he wants to be with you. But if you're not receiving it, he's a simp.
It's got to be the reciprocation from one to the
It's the
other.
reciprocation
Yes.
If
part.
I'm doing for
I
you
agree.
and you're just in your mind, well, I'm just gonna go with it, then he could be viewed as a simp. But from the outside looking in, he could be viewed as a simp. But for him, he could just be being a genuine person. It could, like we said
Correct.
earlier, it could just be how he is. And he's not thinking about anything else but just how he
And,
is.
and see, had I ran into a Frankie back in the day, and we would have went out somewhere, I'm gonna take her to eat where I want to eat. And if that happens to be Chicago cut, then that's where we gonna eat. But by the end of that night, I'm gonna know she ain't feeling me.
you're
I ain't
not
feeling
gonna
her no more.
know. I guarantee you,
I'm
you
not-
won't know.
Yeah, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Can I explain
Lawrence.
something to you? Let me ask you a
No,
question.
because
And
I'm gonna let you explain
I
it,
have,
then I'm gonna
well,
tell you myself. No,
I guarantee you, I've dated more women than all three of you combined. I
I'm
absolutely.
sure you have.
So yeah, yeah.
So I would know.
Well, I know you dated more
Yeah,
women than me.
She only got like 3 under
I
her.
know you dated more women than me.
Right. I don't date women.
I do. I don't. I'm not opposed to any of it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
This is
Go
being. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, yeah, you can tell when someone's feeling you. Come on now, let's
That's
keep
not
it real.
true.
We can
Listen,
delude
no, look,
ourselves.
that's not true. I went on a date yesterday. Listen,
Mhm.
and I
No,
refrained.
you?
No, really. I was proud of myself. Like I really liked him, but we talked. Conversation was flowing. I didn't touch him. Even when he went to hug me, like I leaned out to the side because I ain't want him to get my lip or nothing.
Was it
But
the
I
good?
was like,
Was it the good side?
Yeah, he got the good
The
side.
good eye.
Look.
Okay.
So yeah, but he definitely got the good side. But I refrained from letting him feel that or know that I was like really into him. We had good conversation. He texts last night, he texts today, and it's cool. But no, you don't know. Like
Do
I'm
you
not gonna give you that.
do you do you trust
Even if I didn't like
your
you,
intuition?
say it
Do you
again.
trust your Do you
No,
trust your intuition?
I
Do you
don't.
trust your intuition?
I do
What
not.
about you, Pam? You trust your intuition?
I do.
Pam, you trust your
She
you
does.
do?
I do. I do.
Tosh, she does. Okay, Tosh, do you
No,
trust yours as well?
I don't trust
no,
mine.
I
You
don't.
don't.
I don't. Mm-mm.
And you know what? And I trust mine because I'm an
Okay.
overthinker. So,
Hmm.
my intuition is usually on point.
I'll be off.
Yeah.
I don't trust mine because I'm a simp. I give people too many chances. Like,
Can
to
a
be
woman be a
honest,
simp? Can a
I
woman can a woman be a simp?
because I'm too
I
nice, and
quit.
everybody tells me that I'm too
Absolutely,
nice.
absolutely, they can.
Okay.
You know
Absolutely,
what
they
I'm saying?
can.
I
I
don't
ran into
trust
my
my
fair share
intuition.
in my life.
I'm always the one that's continuously giving somebody a chance. Oh well, maybe. Oh well, maybe it wasn't like that. Like, and that's a large argument with me, with me and my husband, because he always say I be too nice. Because I always say I don't err on the fact of going into something thinking negative. I'm always going in with the
Mhm.
good vibes and giving somebody the chances and
Correct.
everything.
That ain't me.
Not
Correct.
her.
Correct.
No.
But yes,
And
absolutely.
that's
With
just
females
me.
can be. There are female simps as well. I dated a couple, three of them in my day. Yes, they
Couple
exist.
of them.
They absolutely
Wow.
exist.
Well,
Yeah,
Wow.
hey,
they do.
I was just honest right then and there. Hello.
And we love
I
that.
love it.
We
That's
love
all you
it.
can do is be honest. But
We're gonna give her.
I, I
We're gonna
want
give
to
her a
know.
round of applause.
I want to know why you asked that question. Do we
Do we
trust?
I was
the
just
question you
curious.
asked? Okay.
Do you trust
Oh,
your intuition? Because oftentimes I see online women's intuition. It's never wrong. It's never wrong. It's never wrong.
listen.
And you all are two of the first women I've ever heard say they don't trust it.
No, honestly, I
You,
don't.
it's almost
I know
universal. It's just
it's
100%
there.
flawless.
I don't have that
It's
feeling. Like
Mhm.
it's like, oh, I got this gut feeling. Pam will be feeling something that probably really ain't even there. But I don't have that. I don't. I can't feel nothing. Like maybe I got too much other stuff going on in my head that I'm not even looking or thinking or whatever. But no, I don't trust it.
it's the opposite of me. I definitely have the intuition. I feel like I'm very in tune, but I don't listen to it. I
Mm.
don't listen. I keep
Well, that
moving
doesn't mean you
forward
don't
because
have
I
it.
keep
That doesn't mean you don't
thinking.
have it. Be-
But I have it, but I'm
so,
just not listening
sometimes
to
the heart,
it.
sometimes the heart overrules the head. You can have that intuition that's telling you there's
Mhm.
a bouquet of red flags right there, but you ignore them because you want what you see. So yeah,
Yeah.
your
And
intuition
and I
can be correct, but you still chase after it.
and I posted that before, like we
It
talked about
happens.
social media. What I posted that my head, my brain, and my heart, they're usually never on the same accord.
Yeah.
I
I know
usually
my
go
Well, we
with
don't
my
teach
heart.
people.
I usually don't never. My brain is like the last thing that I listen to. My heart, I could be all into something and everything, and my brain be telling me now. Red flags is everywhere, everywhere. I see it. My brain, my eyes, same page. My heart on my
Well,
sleeve,
we don't
and I'm
get to
moving
pick
forward.
and choose who we fall in love
You
with.
don't.
I
You
remember
We
don't.
don't.
my
We
dad
can pick and
told me,
pick and choose.
yeah, because my dad told me when I was going through my divorce, he's like, sit down, I want to talk to you for a minute. And he just told me, he said, listen, if you follow your head instead of your heart, you'll never go wrong. He said, he said, I just don't want you to get out here because you're an attractive lady and stuff. Now that you're going through your divorce, and men, he said, men gonna do whatever and try, and they're gonna bring you gifts. They're gonna try to buy you. They're gonna try to do this. They're gonna try to do that. But he said, but if you think with your head and not with your heart, you'll never go wrong. And I guess that just kind of stayed with me, at that moment. So I just try to think with my head at all times because your heart it gets cloudy.
Mhm.
That
I
heart
think
thing
it,
and stuff.
Yeah, you're 100% correct, but I also believe that there has to be some type of combination. I mean,
Yes,
the heart and the head they have to work in
I think
concert,
so.
If it
and
feels
one
right.
is going to right, yeah, and one is always going to pull a little bit harder than the other, and they have to work together. They do,
Yeah.
they absolutely do, because you can go with your head and you have no feelings for that person. That ain't gonna work either. You know,
Whew.
he
No,
looks
no, no.
good. He treats me well. He does all of these things. He checks all of these boxes, but you don't feel nothing when you're sitting there alone with him. That's not gonna work. It's just
Yeah.
not.
So I
It's
don't
just not.
understand though. If you're checking all the boxes, I mean, if a man comes into your life and he is checking all the boxes,
Mhm.
why? I mean, why do people look at him and say, he's a simp because he's doing all the right things? I don't get that.
Well, I think
Because
some
Like I
it's
said,
like
if
what
he's doing it
Lauren
for his,
said earlier.
who going?
go
Go ahead,
ahead.
Lauren.
Somebody.
It's like what
You,
he said
you,
earlier. When
Tasha.
the men, it's coming from men who aren't doing what he's doing, and they're looking at it and they feel because they can't do it or they won't do it, so they're trying to pass judgment
Correct.
on him
Yes,
and say that that's what he is.
Correct.
that's what I think.
Yeah, Russell Wilson could never be considered a simp because that's
I
his
don't
woman.
think
Now,
so.
I don't think
if
so.
he was chasing Sierra and Sierra was still running around with Future and whoever else that she was seeing before him, and she was
Yeah.
still being seen at the clubs with all these other people, and he kept on chasing behind her, he's a simp. But
Because
that's his
they been married,
wife. You
right?
can
They
never be a
married
simp
and
for
for
your
3 or 4
wife.
kids later.
Yep.
Right, right. I totally agree.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
you can't be a simp. You're taking care of your family. You're taking care of the co-lead to your household. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to uplift her. You're supposed to place her in a favorable light. You're supposed to praise her. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, what goes on
Yes.
behind closed doors, that's another story. But when in public, your woman is
Absolutely.
supposed to be all of that. Period. And your man is supposed to be all of that. I don't care how upset you are with them. In public, you have to provide that
A
good look
united front.
That's right.
A
I mean, you
united
know
front.
what?
at
I'm gonna be
all
so
times.
because when I see a man and I see that he's being attentive to his woman, that is everything to me. That means I'm like,
Hmm.
man, I wish I could find me somebody that's attentive to my needs like he is to her. I
Hmm.
see that and I pay attention to that. And it just it's everything to me.
And
Yeah.
there, believe it or not, on the flip side, there are men who see men with other women, and they say to themselves, "Man, I wish my woman did that." It goes both ways. We like things too. We have
Yeah.
egos too. We like our ego stroke too. They're not gonna say it, but it's the truth.
Well, I
Men
do. I
like to have
stroke.
their
I
ego stroked as
stroke it
well.
when I'm in a relationship. I stroke his ego.
I'm a stroker. I'm a
I stroke.
stroker.
I do. I stroke.
Let's keep this
I ain't
PG 13.
stroking.
I'm a
That's all I'm
stroker.
thinking.
It's a family show. Family show.
So
Lord.
in saying all of that and to wrap this up, so are we all in agreement that there can be some similarities in a simp and attentive man depending on the intentions or what's being reciprocated?
It
I would agree
depends on
with
the
that.
woman that's receiving the attention. If she is receptive to it and she's willing to give some of that back and she's
Mhm.
all in for it, then yes, that's just an
Well,
attentive man. But if she's doing and all she's doing is receiving and not giving anything back, no, he's being a son.
Yeah.
but you can't say all in, like all in, and like no, you don't
In a
just jump in.
relationship, that's what I mean by that. In
Oh,
a
okay,
relationship is what I mean.
glad you cleared
In a
that up.
relationship.
Because if you just dating, it's not an
I
all
see. I have
in.
to
Like,
cross.
no, I'm not
I
jumping.
see. I have to cross T's and dot I's with you because you just,
Look,
you
Frankie
got to
is
make it
not
plain.
letting anything pass
You
by.
make it
Look,
plain.
to be clear, she's here for clarity.
Right.
That's it. I just want to write it down. I just want to be clear. Like, come on.
Because you need 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 dates to make sure.
I think so.
Hey,
No, 6 meals. Let's get it right.
Meal.
First of all, let me tell y'all something. Seriously, my daughter told me today, and it hurt my feelings so bad, and all I could do was smile. She said, Mom, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or nothing, but I think you should probably stop going out to eat so much. I said, why you say that? She said, cause your butt and your hips and your stomach showing all the food you eat. I said, what? Like, why would you say that? And I was like, I don't even eat when I go. And she said, you doing something. I don't know what you're doing, but
Are you eating the appetizer?
I promise y'all, I don't eat. I'll take it home.
No, she bring it
I'll
home.
bring it all home. I might like
So
I
it
hit the
gets
salad.
so it gets eaten. So it gets eventually it gets eaten.
Eventually.
Yeah, I might feed the kids, but I'm not eating right there. So
These are super
Whatever.
simps. They feeding the whole families. Woo,
Well, you know what?
child.
So maybe maybe you
She
should go on
finds
coffee.
super
Maybe you should go on coffee dates.
no, I don't.
Starbucks.
No. I am trying to find some alternative dates to
Yeah.
do because that whole eating thing is just overrated.
Coffee,
No,
Coffee,
cocktail.
No.
the
A walk through the park.
bookstore, a walk
do
in the
like the hike.
park. You
Go
know,
work
things
out.
like
She like to
I'm
work out.
sorry.
Go work out.
I want to go eat. I want to go eat.
You know, for me, I have to take you somewhere where we can converse, where we can interact, so I
Agreed.
can
And I
learn
don't-
more
yeah.
about you. It's hard to do that when we're eating. It's rude to eat with your mouth full.
But I don't
It's
be
just,
eating,
you know.
so I could talk.
Well, in
Wow,
between,
he's going.
as we're waiting for the food to come, we're
Yeah,
conversing, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
in between small bites, because I'm not going to gorge, and stuff. So, we can talk and converse and get to know each other and have a nice little conversation.
Okay.
But I'm not opposed to just a coffee shop and
Yeah,
sipping and having coffee because I'm a coffee girl. I'm a coffee drinker. I'm not
Right.
opposed to any of the different type of dates, going to the bookstore, anything like that. We don't have to do the absolute norm in
I
dating,
agree.
which is going out to eat. Although I want to eat, I like food. I'm sorry, I want to eat.
Like we talked about last week. If where you're going is more important than who you're going there with, you don't need to go there with them.
Boom.
True.
Period.
But and again, like I said, and I'm open. I'm open to whatever it is that you want to do. So again, in simp or an attentive man, I'll take a combination.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'll take
agree.
a combination.
Maybe more
I don't
so.
want none of that because I don't want no man.
80% simp, 20% attentive.
Okay.
All right, here. I tell you.
Okay.
That's because you got
I'm
more
gonna start writing
sense.
things down. I'm gonna put this paper, pen and paper down. I'm gonna pick up a Bible for you. That's what I'm
She,
doing.
she needed. She needed.
She needs prayer.
Yeah. Mark this down. This date. I'm gonna be married by the end of the year, okay?
Oh,
Just mark it down. Get your pen and paper out. Come on.
What's his name?
don't waste.
Don't
your
worry
time.
about that.
Don't waste your time.
Don't worry about his name. But
By
God,
the end of the
Does
year,
he have
on
a
this
name?
date, April 17th,
Boom.
2024.
Does he have a name?
She has
Does
said
he
it.
have a name? You ain't got to tell
She
us.
may not have met him. She may
He has a
meet
name?
somebody next month and fall head over
Boom.
heels.
write it down. It don't take that long. It don't take that
At this
long.
She
at
may
this
fall,
stage
but
in
will
our
he?
life,
But will he?
we-
Will
This
he
stage,
fall?
we're not
Head
waiting.
over heels?
They fall. That's another segment.
Well, with all that being
They-
said, well,
because
I'm
it
not
seems
letting
like
her
we
slip.
can go on and on with
I'm
this
not
one
letting
here
her
because
Right.
this has been a very interesting conversation.
oh my God. And with that being said, like I said, I will take a combination of them both. And at the end of the day, at the end of the night,
Hmm.
I want to thank you guys for tuning in, okay? Because we can go on and on about this subject.
Yeah, yeah, we could.
It is a highly controversial subject that I have with my male friends a lot.
One last thing before we sign off, I will say this, and this is something that I believe in wholeheartedly. be what you seek. If you want that attentive man, be an attentive woman. If you want somebody to simp for you, simp for them. Let's not have a hand out at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's be
I
prepared to
agree.
give sometimes too.
I
Match
agree.
that energy, or
Yeah.
leave that person alone.
That part.
Okay, I'm
That
gonna get off my
I
soapbox now.
match energy.
all
That's
right.
good. I match energy.
Okay, well, you know what? I can't remember my line.
You could have been anywhere, but you were here with us tonight. Remember to
And we thank you for that.
Listen,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share at the EYMF Network.
and check us out on anywhere where you can view your podcast at.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Oh my God.
How she look at me and say she forgot?